Happy Friday, one and all. Mark Arum and the Bananas with you till 8 in the p.m. Going to kick off your weekend right, keeping you entertained. Comedian Nikki Glaser next hour. She is a rising star. You might have seen her, Chuck, on Dancing with the Stars. Literally, she's a star on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, cool.
But I want to talk about, can we talk about the workplace for a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, you folks are driving home right now from work, and God bless. Did you hear what Kirk Mellish said about this weekend?
106.
106 on the heat index?
Nice.
Sweet. Really? Really?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, some freaks love that.
I mean, if it's dry.
Yeah, but it's not going to be.
No,
it's going to be.
But here it's humid and awful.
Yeah, swampy.
Yeah, swampy is a good word.
Anyway, so you're driving home from work. It's hot. It was a 9 on the Mark Arum Show back.
How is it not a 10 at this point? Are you waiting for this weekend to go to 10?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Monday?
I'm reserving the 10
Monday
for
Tuesday. Okay.
when I literally can't make it into work or have to change my shirt before I come in the building. That's when we hit a 10. You're driving home. It's. I had a long week at work. You guys, I'm sure, had a long week at work listening. You know what really sucks at work, especially if you've been someplace for a long time, is change. Like I hate change in general, not like pocket change, but like when things change. So in 8 days, it'll be my 22nd anniversary at WSB. Man. 22nd. So I've been here a long time. I've had to deal with a lot of changes.
Early 30 guy in his early 30s.
Yeah, for a guy that's 36, it's pretty crazy.
Were you 12?
And so for a majority of that, I've also been doing traffic on Channel 2 Action News. And like every 6 years, they change my maps. So you know the maps you see on TV that shows 75 in Cobb and 85 in Gwinnett and 400. So every 6 years, they change this the map system.
Didn't you just do that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's because they hire companies and it's a bidding process. I get it. You want to save money. Sure. But I get so used to using these maps that when it's time to choose a new map system, I literally pull my hair out. Like, I've got this one back and forth. I can do this blindfolded. And now, here's a whole nother way. You know, you're going to have to do this with your left foot. You know, like it's that's how difficult the change is. When you got something down pat, it's just like second nature.
It's muscle memory.
Muscle memory, exactly. Like Longoria running the board. I could never do what you do. You're here on the Mark Arum Show as the engineer of the broadcast.
I wouldn't call me that, but yeah.
Yeah, but imagine if they came in and they put a whole new board in with.
They did last year.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what
that
I'm
would
like.
Suck. Yeah.
It's
like if they switched everything around, the mics are now over here and
exactly like just flipped it 180. It would drive you crazy.
Oh, it would.
I totally feel you. It's like if they move the phone, I wouldn't know what to do.
If they move the phone.
And they move the phone to the other side of the computer.
If they put it on the other side, I would just be lost.
Like if they said, Chuck, you have to be nice to callers now.
That was
what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I think no matter what your job is, like if you file paperwork and they change the forms, like the TPS forms.
TPS reports?
Yeah, TPS reports. Like anything that you're used to doing and change is rough. So the reason I bring this up is because there's a story out of the NFL, and I don't want to talk about football, but have you seen the latest on Antonio Brown? So Antonio Brown, fantasy football players like Longoria and myself know, one of the greatest wideouts in the NFL right now, got traded from the Steelers to the Raiders. We talked about him the other day. He's got frostbite on his foot.
Yeah.
Oh, those pictures are
nasty.
horrible.
He's MIA right now.
Why?
From work. Not because of the frostbite on the foot, but because the NFL and the whole head injury stuff.
Yeah, CTE
like
and stuff.
CTE. So the NFL has mandated that all teams use safer helmets. And they started this last year, but apparently if you had used an older helmet, you were kind of grandfathered in for last year.
Not anymore.
But this year, it's over. Like, everyone has to wear these new, safer helmets. And they told Antonio Brown showed up to the first practice with his old helmet, and they said, no, here's your new helmet. He's like, oh, okay. And then he wore that for like 2 days, and then he came back and he painted his old helmet to look like he painted his old Steelers helmet to look like the Raiders helmet. And they're like, Antonio, what are you doing? You can't do that. And now he's just gone MIA. He's not showing up, and he might not show up to play the NFL season because he wants his old helmet.
Didn't they just pay him like $30 million?
A crazy amount of money. So here's what he had to say in March about whether or not he needs the NFL. Now, granted, this guy's in a unique position because he's a multimillionaire already. This is Antonio Brown back in March.
I don't even have to play football if I don't want, bro. I don't even need the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to prove nothing to anyone. If they want to play, they're going to play by my rules. If not, I don't need to play.
You want the game now?
No, I don't. I mean,
okay?
obviously I want the game, but I don't need the game. It's a different. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to play for no one. Like, I'm happy. You see this? It's paid off cash. I don't owe no one. I'm a millionaire, bro. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I don't have to prove no one anything. You know what I mean? Like, I never quit and miss a game ever. I check my record. They know my background.
Now, but at first
that's what
blush, you're like, this guy's crazy. How are you walking away from $30 million because of a helmet? But if Channel 2 came to me tomorrow, like, hey, Mark, we're changing your maps again. You know, you finally learned the map system. If I had his money, I might be like,
Just walk away.
Yeah, I'm going to walk away. You change my maps, I'm walking away. So I actually respect that he's like, no. I mean, it's dumb. I mean, for two reasons. Like, one, it's going to make it safer. Like, you might not, die at age 50 of head injury.
Could it possibly be?
What's that?
How much different could the helmet
I
possibly
have no idea.
be?
My maps are really different. I can tell you
Well,
that much.
that I can understand.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're safer. I mean,
sure, but
they
I
have to
mean,
be
as far as wearing
engineered
it,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, high school football, I had a helmet. That was the last time I put on a helmet. So I don't know how different they could be.
It's like if somebody improved toilet paper. How much more improved could it get than it is already?
Oh, that would be nice, though.
No,
a
or
nice improvement on
seatbelts.
toilet paper. All right, so while Antonio Brown, I mean, that's just bananas. To not wear the helmet that's safer and leave $30 million on the table, that's bananas. I mean, there's no question. But a part of me is like, you do it, dude. You do it. Stick it to him, making you change.
He needs to make up his mind, though, before the season starts so we can figure out if we can put him on our roster.
Well, I'm
or
not touching him in fantasy. I mean, forget it now.
Him and Ezekiel.
It's not good. There's no way it's going to happen. But like we just kind of had to change the verbiage of the station.
Sure.
So when I first started here, it was News Talk 750 WSB when we were just on AM.
Okay.
And then when we flipped to do the simulcast, it was I forgot what it first was, and then it was News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB, and that's ingrained. And now we have to say 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. We still have the AM signal, by the way. Someone emailed me. We're still on the AM. It's just a new tagline.
Yeah.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. That's tough for me to change, but I get it. I'm not storming out because I'm not Spriggs. Spriggs.
That'd be a hell of a thing to walk out over.
Yeah, forget it. I'm not doing it. Like, it was really tough because we did News Talk 750 WSB for decades. I remember when we first switched, Captain Herb was struggling. He'd be like, News Talk 790. It's like, because you say the same thing
it's just
a million times.
muscle memory.
It's in your head. But I'm surprisingly doing okay with the 95.5 WSB thing. I've only messed up twice, once on TV and once on the radio.
Cap messed up the other day. He said depend on it. And I was like, did you know you said depend on it? He's like, oh.
Well, we can still depend on it.
Yeah, I know.
Still
but
depend on it.
it's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
understood. But that's not something I'm walking away of. But if Channel 2's like, hey, Mark, we're changing the maps again. I mean, that's such a drastic change to my life. I might be like, you know what?
They make you come in on like weekends.
I know.
Right?
I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur.
God, I wish I could say that.
I'm a multimillionaire. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't need the game. The game needs me. So Antonio Brown, that's unreal, unfathomable for normal folk like me and you to think about that. For a helmet that's safer, and it's not like it's just the Raiders that are doing this. It's not like the Raiders are like, hey, it's the league.
Oh yeah,
it's the rules
everybody.
now. Tom Brady, he's not grandfathered in anymore.
I mean, I can understand if the helmet was the side of Lord helmet from Spaceballs. Somebody put that on Twitter.
Exactly.
Then I would be like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that it's that
Well,
much
Major League
different.
Baseball went through the same thing because if you look, well, first of all, there was no helmets in Major League Baseball.
No.
You look at when Hank Aaron started playing, no one wore a helmet at the plate, which is crazy to think about. And then they had the ones that look like, where you get the ice cream in them? Where
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
well, there's no ear
Oh,
flaps.
yeah.
And then they put the ear, and when they switched to the ear flaps, baseball players were like, come on, and they had to grandfather these people in. You could use a helmet without ear flaps. And now mandatory ear flaps. And in hockey, too, there was never helmets first, and then there was never the face guard.
That's why
I
those
remember
guys always look like
no
they-
teeth, exactly. But I remember when they switched to helmets, people were grandfathered in. And then when they switched to the face mask, people were grandfathered in. Crazy. It's just crazy. So, we're not talking sports, but in your work, is there something, a change that would make you quit? What would that change be that you'd be like, pull Antonio Brown. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a millionaire. I don't need this job. This job needs me. 404-872-0750, WSB Talk on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. This is The Mark Arum Show.
Just like music.
Antonio Brown going to walk away from $30 million because he doesn't want to wear the new safer helmet. Is there something at work that could change that would get you to quit? Or have you had to deal with a significant work change that made you quit your job or think about quitting your job? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Chris joins us incoming. Chris, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Mark, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Hey, man. I was going to thank you for the ticket. Can't wait. Peter Frampton, baby.
Oh,
on
Frampton.
Sunday.
Sunday the 12th. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Thanks to you. That's why I listen.
I'm
Well,
here for the
not that,
people.
you know.
I'm here for the people,
You
Chris.
are. You are real. I listen to you. That's why I listen, right?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much other than, man, to be an athlete, it's almost like, well, I'd probably quit just to maybe be a commentator or something. Why would you want to get beat up?
I don't see what it would, and I don't think what Antonio Brown realizes. You have a very short window as a professional athlete, especially as an NFL player. Like the average NFL career is like 1.7 years, 1.7 seasons, even. Like you don't have much time to accumulate that money. And you know what? Once you stop getting that NFL salary, you have to stop spending like you're getting that NFL salary. And that's what professional athletes.
He's an entrepreneur, so maybe he's got other things lined up.
He's an entrepreneur. It's $30 million. That's you can't. I don't know how much he's earned lifetime. See if you can find Antonio Brown's lifetime earnings. But if what a lot of athletes don't understand is once you retire, that money's not coming in again. You're not getting $15 million a year. Kevin's in Norcross. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Hey, all right. So I'm in the restaurant industry. And right now, there are only 2 holidays that I get off.
Christmas and
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
Thank goodness. But the thing that sucks about being in the restaurant industry is that, all the holidays where everybody else is off and all your family and friends are having a good time, I have to work because all those people are off, and that's where money starts coming in. So if they took away Thanksgiving and or Christmas from me, that would definitely be...
Meaning if they made you work on those 2 days, you'd be done.
Correct.
I get it. I used to, when I first started here, I had to work all the holidays. Thankfully, I've accumulated enough street cred, radio cred that I can take off for Christmas, which drives Jennifer Griffey's nuts. Why does the Jewish guy get off Christmas? That makes no sense. When we come back, more of your calls, changes at work. They
Idaho.
can be stressful. Yes, Jennifer. This is the Mark Arum Show.
What up, y'all? It's Jermaine Dupree, and you're listening to the Mark Arum Show. Yeah, y'all know what this is.
You know what it is? It's a 9 on the Mark Arum Show back sweat meter. Chris Camp just said it. 96 degrees on Peachtree at 640. It's going to be a heat index of 106 this Sunday. I'm going to be inside in air conditioning all week. Antonio Brown will be as well. New Steelers, former Steelers wide receiver, new Oakland Raiders wide receiver is threatening to quit football because he will not wear the new safer helmet mandated by the NFL. Apparently, Chuck, the Raiders gave him a bunch of options, like there's a couple of options, and he won't try them. He says the new helmets restrict his vision.
See, when I'm looking up here, it says supposed to make it better vision. What they've done is supposed to have better vision through the side.
Antonio Brown, the entrepreneur, says it's poorer vision.
And it says there's 300 different sizes, and you could custom fit it. And I imagine he's got to be in somewhere in that 300.
Change at work is tough. How much has Antonio Brown earned lifetime? Have you found that out?
I've got varying accounts here. Anything from 65 to 80 is what it's saying.
Oh, good grief.
Well, that might be enough to,
I
don't
I don't know. When you get used to spending money like that, though, it goes quick.
But he's walking away from $30 million because of a helmet, which on the surface is ridiculous, but I get it. If something drastic at work changes and you can afford to walk away, I respect that. Like if Channel 2 decided to change the traffic maps tomorrow, I don't have the money to walk away, but I'd be really mad. Yeah. I'd be really mad again. What is something that could change at your job that you would just walk away and quit? And if you had to deal with a major change at the workplace that really frustrated you, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Rob's in Lithia Springs. Rob, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a security officer. At work, of course.
Good for you, buddy.
Appreciate it. I just want to tell you thank you for your wonderful show and everything you do for the community, and thank you for your service. And I just want to say hi. It's good to hear your voice again, and good talking to y'all.
Likewise, buddy. And thanks for keeping whatever you're protecting safe.
Yeah, I sure will. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Have a great weekend, Rob. Stay cool out there. Stay cool. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Before we go back to the phones and check traffic, I need the breaking news sounder, Longoria, if you don't mind. This is fast food news. I know Johnny's not with us, but...
Where is
yesterday, they launched the Impossible Whopper Metro-wide, nationwide, so here in Metro Atlanta, which is I'm pretty excited about. I'm excited to try this.
Okay.
But there's been a skerfuffle.
Oh, the fine print.
It's not a vegan. It's a vegetarian option because it can't be vegan because of the mayonnaise or whatever. But vegetarians and vegans are upset because they're cooking the veggie patty on the same grill as the regular Whoppers.
Nice.
And they're like, that doesn't make it vegetarian. You know, it's on the same grill with the cow flesh.
Right.
And Burger King never said it was vegetarian. They just said it was the Impossible Burger. They never call it a vegetarian or vegan dish.
Just a meatless burger, but they didn't say it was vegetarian.
Exactly right. So that's kind of like...
Are vegans flocking to Burger King anyway?
I bet vegetarians are. Vegans, no. They're
Right.
hardcore. But I bet, someone
Vegetarians.
that quit eating meat and really misses it was really pumped to check this out.
And I bet you it was delicious to them, too.
Yeah,
because they got the meat juice on it.
Yeah, they got the cow flesh
like,
juice.
God,
on.
never knew
So,
this.
you know what? Nikki Glaser, who is a comedian, she's going to join us next hour. I think she's vegan or vegetarian. I'll get her input. She's a famous vegan or vegetarian, so we'll get her reaction to that. Solomon joins us next to the Mark Arum Show. Hey, Solomon.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up, brother?
All right. Hey, change in pay, man. Change in pay is a reason to quit your job.
I'm assuming a change for the negative, not a positive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't
Actually,
deserve that raise, boss. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I actually left the company in April due to the drastic reduction in our commission structure.
Oh, well, yeah, commission's big.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I've never, knock on wood, I've never been asked in any job to take a pay cut. Have you ever been asked to take a pay cut, Longoria?
No.
Deb Green, you've been in radio.
We were furloughed.
Oh.
That was annoying.
That is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
not
sucked.
good. But commission, yeah, I get that. Commissions can vary. They're in flux. Fernando joins us on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Fernando?
Hey, Mark. Good to hear from you.
Likewise, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm actually still kind of a new listener. And so, again, this is my first time actually talking to you.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, anyway, one of the things that will make me quit this job, because this is like one of the best jobs I've ever had, kind of work it like it's your own business. I do the vending. So I drive around, fill up machines all day. Now, here's the best thing about it. I get up and go in really when I want to, meaning whether it's 3 a.m. or
Sure, whenever you
12
feel
p.m.
like doing it. You restock the
Exactly.
machines, yeah.
As long as I keep the customers happy. If that changes and they put me on a 9 to 5, that's not going to work. I quit immediately. I walk away.
You're gonna do the Antonio Brown. Listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't need this job. That's interesting.
Exactly right.
So as long as the machines don't go empty, you're good, right? You can fill them up whenever you want.
Exactly. As long as they, not just go empty, as long as I maintain them. See, I was told to work it like it's your business. Meaning, hey, make sure you don't have any sales, pull things in, out, all that stuff like that. Customer has the issue here, address it.
Real quick,
Hey,
Fernando,
do that,
what's the
you're
most popular item you stock in vending machines right now?
good. Man, honey bun. Honey bun.
Eric Von Hessler.
I'm surprised because Von Hessler stopped eating them. We got a pile up in the break room because Von Hessler stopped eating those honey buns. We're coming back. Changes at the workplace can be tough. Would it be tough enough to make you quit your job like Antonia Brown? 404-872-0750. This is the Mark Arum Show. Rhonda joins us in Jackson County. Rhonda, welcome to the Mark Arum Show. How are you, my friend?
Thanks, Mark. How are you?
Excellent. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I drive a semi hauling mail, so there's some talk out there about the government stepping in and regulating all semi trucks to only do 65 miles an hour. Now, I've been a nurse for 20 years. I got hit by a drunk driver. I can't stand on my feet, so I went into truck driving, which was my childhood dream when I was very small.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been driving for about 10 years. But if the government steps in and regulates all semi-trucks at 65 miles an hour, can you imagine how much worse the traffic jams are going to be?
I don't even want to imagine that. Rhonda, refresh my memory. You're the one that drives from like Cartersville to Valdosta every day. Is that right?
Dalton to Valdosta.
Dalton
yes,
to Valdosta. You know what? You don't wait for the government. Just go, whenever you're ready to hang it up, you hang it up, Rhonda. That's crazy commute. That's the craziest commute I've ever heard.
645 miles every day. I work pretty much 6 days on, 7 days off.
That's I don't even know where do you. All right, real personal question, Rhonda. Let's say you're just south of Macon. You're heading down to Valdosta,
sure.
and you gotta use the facilities. Where do you go? Do you go to a rest stop? Do you go to a McDonald's?
It depends on where I am when Mother Nature calls.
What's your preference though? Flying J?
Actually, it takes long. It takes longer to pull in than it does just to pull over.
I got you. All right, so
if you have your own little, facilities in your truck,
understood.
You're good to go.
Yeah, I think we talked about this the other day. The Mountain Dew bottle that Longoria keeps under the spaceship behind the other side of the takeout window. That's imagine doing that every day.
No, never.
I could.
Dalton to Valdosta. Dalton to Atlanta, I'd quit my job. I'm like, all right, you're right, you won. Valdosta.
So it was 600 miles a day?
A day. Bless your heart, Rhonda. She might be star of the show. When we come back, comedian Nikki Glaser in studio. Hilarious woman. She's at the Punchline this weekend. Hang tight. We'll be right back. It's the Friday edition of The Mark Arum Show.
The Mark Arum Show is performed before a live studio audience.
No, I run this town to be near you. I stand alone. I stand alone.
Hey, welcome back. Friday edition of The Mark Arum Show. Heard Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. on 95.5 WSB. I've been excited, and Johnny Kielbasa, our fast food guru, has been excited about the Impossible Whopper that Burger King launched 2 days ago nationwide. This is big fast food news, guys. This is, Burger King of all places is saying, hey, we've got a vegetarian option on our menu. But I find out this morning that they are not using a separate grill for the veggie patty, the Impossible Patty, and that has really shaken up the vegan and vegetarian community. So I wanted to get the most famous vegan I know in studio. So we flew in Nikki Glaser from LA to chime in on this Burger King subject. Nikki, you are a vegan.
Yes.
That's got to be off-putting, right? You might have been excited to try the Burger King Impossible Whopper, but now...
I'm not. I wasn't, because I don't care about things tasting like meat. I don't miss the... I'm not like, oh my God, I crave the taste of meat.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those. And it angers me when a lot of meat eaters use people's love for the Impossible Burger as an excuse for being like, why do vegans want everything to taste like meat if you don't like meat? And it's like, I don't like meat, and I don't want things to taste like meat. I don't care. I'm happy that they're offering a plant-based burger, but yeah, they need to throw it on a different grill if you're going to satisfy vegetarians and vegans.
And I think they will eventually, because...
That should have been thought of a little before they launched this, because clearly no one at... Is this Burger King you said?
Burger King, yeah.
Yeah, no one in their upper management or that is a basic thing that you need to. Last week I ordered some mushrooms at a club, like just grilled mushrooms. I'm really into mushrooms right now for whatever reason. And they arrived and they had like bacon bits in them, and I ate the whole thing before I even realized. Because at the end I was like, what are these? And I was like, and I wasn't like, someone's gonna get fired. Everyone was freaking out. They're like, we'll find out who did it. I'm like, no one intentionally poisoned me with bacon, but they just used the same grill as like a bacon-y grill. So, and I was like, I just don't want to consume animals that have been tragically murdered.
So I became a pescatarian like 3 years ago.
Nice.
So I do miss meat.
You do.
I crave. It's weird what I crave. I crave sloppy joes for some reason. And I've tried to make them and it's just not the same.
No, it's not. And I feel like that's that's bad PR for vegans, is to be like, it tastes the same. Because no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Here's the thing about being vegan, and I know your listeners are rolling their eyes already because it's just, I'm not going to get on my little soapbox about it, because soap actually is made from, just kidding. Boxes are generally,
Animal
pill
fat.
bugs suffer
Yes.
that are living in boxes when you put together a box. No, I was going to say that I don't. You said you miss sloppy joes.
I miss sloppy joes.
I miss my whole point about it. My point is, I just don't like that animals are murdered, and I
Agreed.
just have, and I like the taste of animals.
Yeah.
That's my point. I like dairy. I don't like miss meat, but yeah, it tastes good. I'm not
Sure.
gonna lie and be like, it's bad. It tastes like death. No, it doesn't. It tastes delicious.
I probably will never go the full vegan route and stick with the pescatarian. I mean, I love fish, but I also love dairy, like cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I know.
You're not
Don't
missing
you
that at
love
all?
your grilled cheese
So much, yes.
If you saw the cows that had to suffer and the babies pulled away from their mothers, crying for days on end, and the
Great.
mothers crying, you might feel differently. And that's the thing is, like, yeah, we all love milkshakes. We all love grilled cheese. I also would like to murder some people in my life. I have people in my life who I would legit like to strangle the life out of. And
Yes.
it would bring me joy to see the life drain from their eyes, because I hate them.
Yeah.
Or I would like to shoot someone. Like, there have been times that people have hurt me in ways that I'm like, I would like to murder them. I don't get to do it, though, because it's wrong.
Sure.
There are sometimes I see a woman and her ass is so good that I'd like to grab it, but I don't get to because it's wrong.
Yes.
So
It's a moral
you don't
thing.
always
Same
get
with
to
me.
do
Same
what you
with me.
want to do because
Yes.
you like it. And that's a lot of meat eaters and dairy. And I'm not shaming you about this, but this argument that, like, I just love grilled cheese. It's like, yes, so do I.
I have never seen. So what? Actually, was a comedian that got me to stop eating meat 3 plus years ago now. I was watching HBO Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel.
Wow.
Guys, I don't know if you, I'm not excluding you, but I want to include.
Andrew Collin and
Andrew
Ahri
and Ahri.
Findling.
Yeah.
They
I
are
wanna-
my openers this weekend at the Punchline in Atlanta.
So you guys familiar with Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just watching it on a random Friday night because I'm a loser. I have nothing else to do. And there's a segment on with Joe Rogan called Eat What You Kill. And so Joe Rogan will only eat meat that he hunts and kills. And I'm watching. I'm like, I don't hunt. I'm not going to kill anything. I'm just
Yeah,
watching
what, are you
this.
gonna starve? Yeah.
And in the middle of that report, they cut to slaughterhouse video.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that's what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I stopped. The
Wow.
last meat I had was a McRib.
Wow.
Which is
that's
not
a good
how
way
you
to
want to go out. I don't know. I want to go out with a T-bone steak. No, I went out with a McRib.
Yeah, you don't get to like choose what the thing is you eat before you see the
Yes,
footage.
it was
It's gonna
very,
send you off.
very upsetting.
That's what gets people generally is watching the footage.
Yeah.
And there's a new documentary coming out apparently that is so horrific that people can't even stay in the theater. They can't, and
Oof.
it's just basic footage of what happens in for dairy.
Yeah.
You know, like
well, that was the thing. There was in that Real Sports segment. There was nothing about the milking of cows that would freak me
yeah,
out.
you just think.
So I need to go find
oh, they're
that.
on a pasture. It's a milkmaid with a bucket, and she's gently tugging at the udders, and
Yes.
then she's gonna go get slammed by the boy in the hay stack, and everyone's happy, and the cow's mooing. And
That's how I
there's
envision
always
it.
happy cows on the cheese. The happy cow.
Yeah.
Our cows are so free range. No, they're miserable. They're
Really?
born into misery.
All right.
They live a life of
All right, hold on.
of
Let
misery.
me cross grilled cheese and
Yeah, it
milkshakes
sucks.
off. You
But
know
I
what?
think that if everyone had to, like, you know, have their eyes like forced open and had to watch footage of what happens in these places, you couldn't keep doing what you're doing. And I didn't for years. I didn't want to see the footage because I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't even watch the footage. All I had to do was read about it because I'm someone who, like, if I go to see like a scary movie or like a suspenseful movie, I don't watch it. I just read the Wikipedia plot of it as I'm listening.
And then you get it.
Because I can't see stuff, but
Understood.
it's enough to like read it. So that's what did it for me. And I hope that a lot of people are forced to watch this documentary.
America's favorite vegan, Nikki Glaser, joins us.
I don't know about that.
So it's ironic that I flew you out here to talk about this Burger King because you actually picked up a gig tonight and tomorrow at the Punchline.
I did. I'm at the Punchline next to a diner. Tonight and tomorrow, 2 shows. And yeah, it's fun. We had a show last night. It was a great time. And it's a nice little room.
Sure.
It's probably the last time I'll be at a club like this for a while because I'm getting kind of famous. And
You are.
yeah, and you go up to theaters next, and then once the industry takes you down again, you go back to clubs. So I'll be back at this
6
club
years.
probably in about 6 years. That
So-
generally is like the lifespan of.
You mentioned the growing fame.
Yeah.
The Nikki Glaser bandwagon is growing. Since we last spoke, since you were last here, you were on Dancing with the Stars on ABC.
Yeah, this place is actually bringing back a lot of memories because it was in Atlanta last year, a year ago when I talked to the producers and said, yes, I'm going to do it. So
Yeah.
all weekend I was here. I was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this show. It was very like stressful for me, and like it was scary and exciting. But I was also like, what? I'm about to do this show. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna do it, and I did it. I mean,
There was a part of you that was going to turn it down?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's a show where you have to dance live on TV.
I get it.
Live. I
But-
didn't even know that part until like a month or two
Yeah.
in, where. Yeah, or no, not a month or two in. I think about a couple weeks in, they were like, "Oh yeah, the premiere is live." I thought you get to like fall and then take it over.
Yeah.
And I've never watched
Take
the show.
two.
No, it's live, and I've never danced in my life or learned even a
Andrew
single
and
step.
Ari are giggling through this whole time. What?
They're laughing because they turned on their mics and then they haven't talked, and so they both had to sadly turn off their mics,
What,
and that's why they were sharing a little giggle about that.
Were you guys in the loop on this whole thing with the?
Oh yeah, I was there through it.
Yeah, Andrew's my best friend, and he was one of the first people I told that they asked me. I had to be very quiet about it. I didn't know Ari yet, really.
No.
I kind of just knew him in passing.
Well, Ari's 6, so.
Yeah, Ari, he's 6.
You look so young.
I'm 6 years old. Oh my God!
Oh my
What do
God!
you-
How much
buy
does
a
he
girl
love
a
that?
drink first. Jesus Christ! I'm 32 years old.
Are you really? He's
about to be a
I'm gonna run
father.
for president in 3 years.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So you didn't know Ari, but.
But Andrew was in
Andrew
on it.
knew.
Yeah,
I
I told.
saw it all happen.
Did
I
you-
told her, don't do it. I said, you got 9 left feet. I remember I told you. And you go, no, I want to dance.
No, I
You're like,
remember-
I want to
no.
dance. And I
We-
was like, Nikki, really? She's
We
like,
were on my balcony, and after my radio show, we always go over to my apartment and like hang out for the rest of the afternoon because we're comedians and we have nothing to do during the day. And I was like, dude, I'm doing a show. You have to guess what show it is. And we sat there for like an hour.
And I go,
as he
Flavor
guessed
of Love?
every show that's ever
Rock
been.
of
He's
Love?
like,
Live
Bonanza.
Friday.
I'm like, that show hasn't been on for 35 years. Yeah.
Match Game?
Yeah, I mean, I did tape Match Game a couple
There you
weeks
go.
ago, so that isn't out of the realm of things. But no, finally he guessed Dancing with the Stars, and I mean, you were excited. I think we had like
yeah,
a fun
well,
little
I also
day.
asked, how much are they paying you? And then once I found out that, I was like,
Oh,
yeah, you
I
should.
didn't
Oh,
get
yeah?
paid. No.
No?
Are you kidding me?
It was decent.
Was
I
it?
mean, maybe I was also walking your dog. So
Yeah, you were
40
walking my
bucks
dogs
seemed
at
like
the
a
time.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was their dog walker
Half
for a
scale.
while.
Yeah.
That was used to be my like if I was out in a bar. This is back in my bar going days, and you talk to a girl and she asks what do you do for a living?
Oh right.
And I would say I'm a dog walker, and if they weren't interested in me as a dog walker, then I knew it kind of weeded out the gold
What?
diggers. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
but-
you didn't want someone who was gonna date you for your
Yeah, it's like,
AM
I'm on
radio
TV
money?
and radio.
Yeah.
That then you don't know what you're getting. But if you're mocking my career path.
I'm not mocking your career at all.
You
I
are.
actually no, I'm really am not.
But you're
Obviously,
mocking
you're
mine.
very successful.
No,
I was a dog walker.
I want to be a
No,
dog
I know, I'm
walker.
playing.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
but
just
that
having
actually is a good litmus test. Is
Absolutely.
and did you find that there were some women that were just like, no?
80% were like, oh, that's sweet, and then like pieced out.
Yeah.
What year is this though? Because dog walking as like a career didn't become a
I'm
thing
gonna
That's a
until
good
like
point.
5 years ago.
97 to 2004.
Yeah, this was before.
Yeah, no one were dog walkers back then. I think that
Yeah.
wasn't like a career. I
Yeah.
guess it. But so are you married? Did you find someone from this litmus test?
I did, And
Nice.
then she found out I wasn't a dog walker and divorced me. So it was a bad turn of events. Can you guys hang out one more segment?
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Nikki Glaser, Andrew Collin, and Ahri, not Findling, Findling. All on the Punchline stage tonight. Tickets online at punchline.com. Hang out. We'll be right back. This is The Mark Arum Show. Welcome back. Friday edition of The Mark Arum Show. Superstar Nikki Glaser in town, giving us the lowdown on the vegetarian burger at Burger King. And she is going to do a show tonight and tomorrow. 2 shows tonight and tomorrow at the Punchline. Tickets online at punchline.com. Andrew Collin and Ahri Findling also in studio.
Yeah, I brought my whole show with me today.
Is that
lineup.
normal? That you
No,
travel in
you know what?
packs?
This isn't normal for comedians to bring their entire opening acts on the road. I mean, I think once you get to a level of like seeing comedians in theaters, you don't just have like a local opener, but at clubs generally they use local talent, which I have used in the past, but you get placed with duds a lot of times because clubs don't consider.
I've been that dud before.
You've
I've been the opener dud for an out of town.
No, but you would be a great if I got paired with you to open for me on something. You would be fun to hang out with in the green room. You're a nice person. There are a lot of times that you just get someone who's not a cool hang, and so much about comedy is not. I don't care if you're fun. On stage, I can follow anything.
Sure.
Like, you can bomb, and I'll be fine. I'd rather you not. I mean, there was a guy that went on stage once that I had to fire, and I've never done this before, but he used the F word, like almost not that 4-letter F word, the 6-letter F word, almost immediately
Sometimes
in jest. And so, sometimes three. Yeah. He used that one, I think, a couple times. And Andrew Collin, who's here now, was with me at the time, and this guy was just the host. And he came back in the room, like, just his eyes wide, like, did you hear that? And I'm like, yeah, I did.
How long ago was this?
This was a couple months ago. I mean, this was maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it wasn't ironic either. It was just pointing at 2 guys in the audience,
being like, "Why are you guys here together?
No
what
women?
are you?"
Oh,
yeah, and it was just
really?
like 2 guys that got sat together because they went alone to my show. Which, by the way, I actually implore people to go to shows alone. If you don't have friends to go to a comedy show, I think a lot of times people miss out on going to shows because they're like,
I
"Well, I can't have anyone. I don't have a date."
Yeah.
And you feel weird going to a comedy show alone, but you really shouldn't because actually it's a better way to go because you're not managing your the person at your table's feelings, because a lot of times when you go to see comedy, it's like I'm talking about sex, and it can get maybe awkward.
Yeah,
and if you bring your sister or your mom or someone just so you can have someone, your cuz, you're just worried about.
She has a younger brother, but he's
you're worried about their feelings. Like, is that going to make them feel weird? And then you can't relax. So going to shows alone, I love. A lot of people go to shows alone.
I do that a lot.
Good.
You mentioned the F word, the new F word.
Yeah, the new one.
I want to talk about that. Can you hang out one more segment?
Sure, yeah.
Because there's an interesting topic that I want to spin off of that. Nikki Glaser and pals, Andrew Collin and Ahri Findling. Findling, so fancy. In studio, they're at the Punchline tonight. Tickets online at punchline.com. News, weather, and traffic next. This is The Mark Arum Show.
Hey, this is Ray Liotta, and you're listening to the
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. Packed him in that ox so tight, I couldn't get no sleep that night. Rolling Stones, Shep and Ham, tell them about that master plan. Oh, my Lord, 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 Lord.
Welcome back. Friday edition of The Mark Arum Show. Comedians in studio. Not drinking coffee, they're drinking water. Well, one guy's drinking coffee.
We've already had so much coffee today. I got 2 coffees from Starbucks.
So I mentioned comedians drinking coffee because I just watched the season of Jerry Seinfeld's show.
Yeah.
And my favorite, when I was growing up, I'm a child of the 80s, Eddie Murphy was the king.
Yes.
And now he just signed this huge Netflix deal.
$70 million for one special, is it?
I don't know the details.
But that's the deal.
I'm not that tight with Eddie. He hasn't replied to my text about it. But he's going to do stand-up again, which is amazing.
But as the donkey from Shrek.
Exactly right.
Is it amazing? Didn't you see him on the SNL?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, the 40th anniversary thing?
Yeah, wasn't that weird?
Well, there's a lot of weirdness that goes around.
Yeah, tell me.
what I'm worried about is, not so worried, but we mentioned before the break the F word and how that is a no-no these days. Like there were when I was growing up, the R word, like you called someone,
Yeah. I mean, people are bringing that one back. They're kind of taking that back.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
And the F word was kind of common.
Sure.
In a innocuous way, I guess. I mean, it was a bad word 20 years ago, but
I mean, teachers were calling their students that. I mean, it was a very acceptable. There's so many things that have changed even since I've been doing stand-up. So, and that's one of them for sure.
So my worry is if you go back and watch Eddie Murphy Raw or any of those stand-up specials, the
does not hold up. Yeah.
It's
people are gonna pick him apart right now, and he's gonna get canceled, and then he has this $70 million deal, and no one's gonna want to see it, and Netflix is.
So are we gonna see revisionist history when it comes to stand-up? Because I mean that word was rampant through. I mean, if you look at Richard Pryor's stuff, I mean, he had N-word as his name of his album.
Right. I
But
mean,
he could do it.
Why is that, Andrew?
Because he happens to be an African American. He could name it that. And he had MS. So
no, I don't think because he hasn't, because no one has taken it apart and it hasn't made the headlines. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we can kind of suspend. We can just be like, oh, it was a different time, but
he can't come back in 2019 with this new special. And use those same words
he's not
right?
going to be able to get by on those. I just don't. I don't think anything is good enough to be worth $70 million. I think there's no way that this is going to be good enough that people go, "Yep, that was." I don't care if it's as good as anything he's ever done ever in matches. It's just like the expectations. I feel almost bad for him because
there's no way. It's. I mean, he's been on the couch for how long? 2 decades.
20 years.
Yeah.
So there's my expectations are low. Like. I just don't want it to be bad. Like, just be funny. I'm not expecting Raw Part 2.
How many specials is he getting?
We don't know the details.
I think there's a movie involved too, and a stand-up.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a package.
Right.
deal.
I have a Netflix special coming out October 1st, and I was
$60
not
million.
paid
It
even close
wasn't 60?
to that.
I thought it was 60.
60?
Do you get the numbers on that with Netflix? I don't know how that works. Like, so on TV and radio, you get ratings, and here it is.
Yeah, no, I don't
Netflix
think you
ever
do.
tells you like how, six people watched it.
I had a friend who was on Fuller House, which in the industry that was kind of whispered about as like that's the number one show in the business. Like Fuller House for a while, even though Netflix doesn't release their ratings, the buzz around town was that is the number one watch show. I mean, this was a couple years ago when it first came out. But that was the show everyone was watching. Now I think it's The Office on Netflix is the most consumed thing. That has the best ratings of anything across any medium.
I watch it every night before I go to bed.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Me too.
I go to sleep for The Office.
I fall asleep to The
love
Office.
That.
Yeah.
There are so many people that say that. I mean, more than white noise machines. I mean, I guess Office is white noise.
But
at this point.
what I used to do is, so I'm weird, and this goes back to our earlier conversation why I'm single. I have to have something on, but it can't be something that I want to watch. So I used to just have documentaries on, like World War I documentaries.
Right.
And I'm like, I can fall asleep to this.
Yeah.
But now with The Office, I know all the lines. My brain
can shut off.
And it's like,
I'm the same way.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people relate to that are listening right now. And so many people I know just go to sleep watching The Office.
Would that be a relationship breaker for you?
If a guy had to listen to something to go to sleep, well, I would ask, no, because I sleep with noise-canceling headphones blaring a white noise. That's
Really? Not like stream or waves or
no,
whales?
it's called airplane noise, and it's kind of like it's like the moan of like the weird din of in an airplane that's like a constant like the kind that you could fart freely on an airplane and you're like no one can hear it. It's because of that noise.
I fall asleep as soon as the plane takes off, so I get that.
It's so soothing. I really recommend a white noise app, the white noise app, and then the airplane sound. It sends me right to sleep. And also I sleep with like my Bose headphones.
Comfortably? You can do that?
Yeah, I really can. I use like a very small pillow and like just I can, for whatever reason, I can do it. And if not, I just put my phone next to my head. But if I can be in a relationship with someone who like listens to heavy metal going to sleep,
the
because
Bose
those
headphones,
things cancel out everything.
Do they interfere with the curlers that you sleep in? The 1950s curlers that you have?
Women are still doing that. God, that was a lot of upkeep.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still
no
a lot
doubt.
of upkeep to be a woman. But no, I listen to ASMR to go to bed, which is like soothing people talking. And then I listen to podcasts where they're like, they have
Real
like
quick,
soft voices.
You plugged the Netflix on October 1st. You're a radio star too.
Yeah.
And you are the one thing that I'll flip over to Howard to check out.
Oh my God, thank you.
If Howard because that guy works like 2 days a month. So
I know.
I'm hearing all the same stuff.
I
When
know.
that comes up, I flip it over to you.
Thanks, man.
And I don't like promoting other radio stations, but tell the folks on where they can hear
I'm
you.
on SiriusXM. So if you have SiriusXM or a rental car, you should turn on over to Channel 95, Comedy Central Radio. I'm on every Monday through Thursday, 10 to 12 Eastern.
The last rental car I got was, I think, over Christmas. I flew home to Connecticut to see my parents, and it's like the option: do you want the satellite for $6 extra, whatever? Yes. I get in there, and there's no Howard 100 or Howard 101. They like banned it.
Dude, that's the only reason I got Sirius was for Howard.
They refunded the money.
I'm a big Howard fan too.
They refunded my money. I was
good.
I literally got paid $6 a day for Howard, and you won't. They're like, company policy.
I mean, that's a lot of the reason people are going to Sirius.
And you,
Howard,
and you,
and now me.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Is that people that like Howard tend to listen to my show too, and it's like the best compliment I could ever receive
it's
because
awesome.
I got into radio because of Howard.
My third preset is fantasy sports. So
okay.
There's a big drop off between Howard, you, and then I'm like,
that's
fantasy
really nice.
baseball.
Thank you.
Real quick, tell the folks where you can find you guys on social media and websites and all that stuff.
I'm going to be at the Punchline in Atlanta tonight and tomorrow. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. Nikki Glaser, GLASER on all social media. Andrew Collin, Andrew T. Collin.
Andrew T. Collin on Instagram and Twitter. And listen to my podcast, Puddles with Andrew Collin.
Puddles?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Yeah, it's because
It's tattooed on my arm.
He got a tattoo of his podcast that there are 3 episodes of.
I love
that
the commitment.
Yeah,
I'm dying soon. And of course, Ahri, young buck Ahri, 32 years young.
AHRI,
Yeah.
Findling. These
Findling.
guys are great follows on Instagram and Twitter. I do recommend them. Andrew T. Collin, Ahri Findling. Really funny comedians. I wouldn't bring them otherwise. My whole show this weekend is just top to bottom awesome.
Funny stuff.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
a lot of times you go to the comedy club and the opener sucks.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Sure.
People get there late to shows, but this one top to bottom, I mean, I even think they might be funnier than me.
Soup to nuts. It's fantastic.
Yeah, don't miss the beginning. Yeah.
All right. Tickets online at punchline.com. Great to meet you guys. Great to see you again, Nikki.
Thank you so much for having me.
From the lovely and talented comedian Nikki Glaser to the lovelier and more talented Brittany Tannenbaum from Accessatl. Hello, Brittany.
Aw, that was such a nice little intro.
Well, I missed you. We missed you last week. You were out of
I
town.
missed you guys too. I had to be in the delivery room with my sister.
That's awesome.
Now, if that doesn't give you PTSD, not sure what.
Mazel tov,
will.
by the way.
Thank you. She's
Auntie,
beautiful.
Auntie Britt.
She's really beautiful. I never really understood, when people would show me pictures of their children, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's kind of cute, whatever. But now I'm thoroughly obsessed, like grandma obsessive over my niece.
Good
so
for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, your niece is too young to party hard in Metro Atlanta this weekend, but my
Yes.
listeners want to have some fun. What do you got on tap?
Absolutely. So we've got 2 pretty big drinking events going on. The Atlanta Summer Wine Festival over at City Winery is going down. You can enjoy over 50 kinds of wine, beer, ciders. They're going to have a live DJ, music. Tickets for that are about $60 for the day of event. And then if you want something more on the lower end of the ticket scale, this sounds pretty cool. The Pub Crawl on the Beltline. They do a winter and fall edition. So this is going to be their summer edition. And you can take a bunch of people and head to the Beltline and kind of basically just do a little pub crawl all along there from Inman Park to Piedmont Park.
Too hot for me this weekend.
I know, right?
Yeah, too hot for me.
So maybe just stay indoors and do like a little
One
pub
pub.
crawl from your kitchen to your bathroom.
One pub I'll
to the
stay in.
bedroom. But that looks fun. So if you want to enjoy some heat and be outside, you can go to the pub crawl on the Beltline. Tickets for that are $38. And if you prefer something more on the artsy side, perhaps, go to Fox Theater. Cats is in town, the musical, Broadway musical
That's
Cats.
still a thing.
It is still a thing. It's
Interesting.
been around for a long
Yeah.
time. I think they've done some tweaks here or there to the choreography or maybe the music. So
Are you a Broadway fan?
I am and I'm not. So I
Okay.
loved Hamilton. I've
Yeah.
seen that like twice.
Okay.
It just depends what it is. I loved Wicked. I'm kind of picky when it comes to.
I like plays more than musicals. So, like, when
I
I
can
would
see
go to
that.
Broadway in New York, I would go see plays. At the Fox, I prefer plays or any of the various playhouses around town. I don't know.
I'm also just like a concert person. I'd rather go to a Lil Wayne concert.
Thrash metal.
Yeah, than any kind of Broadway show. Also, one other thing I want to mention, the Atlanta Humane Society is doing puppy yoga. This is pretty cute. So you can basically enjoy yoga and some down dog positions while
With
having
puppies.
a puppy on your back or in your lap.
That sounds cool.
So it's going to be $30 to participate. It'll be a donation to the Atlanta Humane Society. It's going down on the 11th. And you can basically adopt puppies if you want.
Sure.
They're
That's
all,
where I got my puppies.
Yep. And so it's an hour class. It'll be taught by a Shapes Fitness certified instructor. So get your sweat on and adopt a pup.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Good to have you back.
Thanks, man.
We're going to come right back. We have one segment to go of The Mark Arum Show. All right, welcome back. Final segment of the Friday edition of The Mark Arum Show. Special thanks to Nikki Glaser and her comedian pals. Brittany from Accessatl Atlanta, always bringing the fun this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, Deb Green, you're going to be doing some soccer-related stuff.
Yeah, the trophies are in town. The Premier League trophies are in town, so I get to hang
That's
out
huge.
with them all weekend.
It's like the Stanley Cup trophies.
Yeah, basically.
Good stuff. Longoria.
Yes.
You got plans this weekend? Anything big?
I was going to barbecue, but it's going to be too dang hot. I'm not
You don't
going
need the
out there.
grill.
I'm not
Uber
doing
Eats.
it. Yeah.
Uber Eats and brisket.
I'm ordering barbecue.
Yeah. Charlie, you're about framing. I know you're going to go buy a big, nice frame for that picture of you and the vice president. What else? What else are you doing this weekend?
My wife is dragging me to see Hobbs and Shaw.
Ma'am?
Fast and Furious spin-off movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's.
Go see the Tarantino movie instead.
Oh, I will.
All right.
Just not with her.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you'll at least be in a theater. Be nice and cool.
Yeah, I'll be safe.
Yeah, I predict I won't leave the house at all this weekend. It's just except to walk the dogs. That's when I'm going to leave the house. Let's do start of the show, Longoria.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
This is going to be a make good star of the show because I wanted to give it to Randy yesterday for that amazing voiceover work she did with Does Alex Williams Know This Food? So she's getting star of the show as a make good from yesterday. We'll continue the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum, Facebook Mark Arum WSB. In the meantime, go to sleep, little baby.
Go to sleep, you little baby.
Guests of the Mark Arum Show stay at the All Suite Omni Hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile.